Right, so we're going to talk 15 minutes on Her Smell by Alex Ross Perry, last year's movie that I think for sure Best Actress snub, maybe a Best Picture snub. In my opinion, yes, it is definitely a Best Picture snub. But Best Actress, like Renee Zellweger won that year for Judy, whatever. This was insane.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yes, completely. I think her performance was one of the most captivating performances, especially from last year.
Yeah.
I feel like that list for nominations it had something to...
Okay, honestly, like the first thing that comes up for me when I think about the performances last year is I think Saoirse Ronan should have won.
Mm-hmm.
But watching this movie, the reason I would say even rivals Saoirse Ronan's performance in Little Women, which we both love, is not only is Elisabeth Moss playing this character Becky, Becky somebody?
Becky Something.
Becky Something, yeah. Becky Something, amazing character. One of my favorite cinematic characters, honestly. Now, this is all just so... I really love this movie. But like Saoirse's Jo, she is sort of playing in two different stages of life. For Jo, it's an adult and being a kid, and for Elisabeth Moss's character, it's sober and being a rock star, like falling down. So they're both doing, I think, a similarly difficult role and exploring similar parts of the character, but they're also Saoirse is sort of overshadowed by Florence Pugh, which is by design of the movie, and this is completely pure leading. Like, you feel her presence throughout the whole thing. What was like your favorite part of her performance?
I mean, I have to bring up just the way that she would talk when she would go off on her rants to literally anybody in the whole movie. She would talk in like this Shakespearean way with like this insane vocabulary.
Incredibly poetic.
Yeah, and it's just like, it really goes to show that she truly is an artist because of the way that she talks.
Yeah.
When I die, have the coffin arrive half an hour late, and on the side, written in gold letters, are the words, "Sorry for the delay."
It almost reminds me of like When Harry Met Sally, where they're also like smart, articulate people.
Yeah.
And I think that articulation is really important to get that point driven home that she is an artist and a poet and a songwriter. But I also think not only is like her words are turbulent, you're like caught in a tornado when she's speaking, but it's also her physicality is pretty turbulent. Get into like more of that, but there's one particular scene that I wanted to talk about, which is she's in this recording studio and this new band comes in, young band, Cara Delevingne's in it, and you're just like, ugh.
Cara Delevingne is...
But her reaction isn't like you expect it to be. Because so far throughout this movie, we've seen her react so fast. This is the first time where we see not only a full body shot, because most of the first act is done in close-up. We see a full body shot of her in the recording studio. She's looking over at this new band that comes in. And she just stares. And I'm like, fuck. I'm just gripped. Because this is like some Hannibal shit, Like just this person behind glass, locked away. And this person's volatile. Like, this person eats people. Not that she eats people, but it feels like she kind of does eat people. She just like gnaws away at their patience. And yeah, we see her there. And yeah, you're just like, Jesus, what is she gonna do? And she starts moving, and you're just like,
is she gonna break through the glass?
I'm nervous, yeah. And the reason why I say like it's as layered as a performance like Jo's in Saoirse Ronan's Jo is because not only does she have these extremely turbulent moments, she also has these moments of complete serenity that they're striking. I think your favorite scene was one of them when she's at the piano with her daughter.
Yeah, her daughter asked her to sing a song that reminds you of her. So sweet.
I'm gonna start crying just...
Yeah, and then she plays Heaven, which is like, I feel like nobody knows the verses of that song, so when the chorus comes on, I could feel like everyone being like, oh, it's this song.
You're right. It's like, this is the perfect song to choose for this moment.
It was so sweet.
It kind of reminds me of, because there are times where like I hear a parent play a song for their kid that I don't know why I don't understand in reality, but I guess because I'm more fluent in movie than I am in life. But sometimes this is the type of song you would play a kid, but when I would hear it in real life, I'd be like, I don't get why you're playing this song for your kid. But in this one, I really like "Baby, You're All That I Want." That's for, usually you interpret that as for a lover, but I guess when you're a parent, all those love songs take on a whole different meaning, and it's such a beautiful moment.
Yeah, it just really goes to show like that her daughter really is like the center of her life, because she's not singing this to Danny, she's not singing this to her friends, she's singing, the only times that she's singing super sincerely and facing the person that she's singing to is when she's singing to her daughter.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. You're right. And you had some problems with the music, though.
Yeah.
Performance-wise.
Yeah, because I initially had reservations about the movie. Like, I knew I liked it right after we watched it, which was literally a few minutes ago.
What a great experience to be a few minutes ago again.
What a dream. Yeah. But yeah, just the way they were on stage, the way they performed on stage, the way the music sounded, I wasn't particularly fond of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it kind of threw me back a little bit. It like pushed me away from certain things. And like, that's like my thing, because usually that's something I pay a lot of attention to.
Yeah.
So I expected it to pull me back that much. It's like having one bad song in a movie can really throw off the whole experience.
Right.
Yeah. But I don't think their songs are bad. It's more the performance, the way it was shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite as, I mean, we just watched Stop Making Sense.
Yeah.
So the contrast is insane. Mm-hmm. But my argument to you was the reason why Heaven was so captivating is because that's the one good performance. I think there are two. That one and the end. Because of the both recovery performances. Mm-hmm. Because the whole movie, the initial performance we see, it's her, the band's already peaked. This is it. Like, we're done. We're not getting that. I actually do like how smeared it is. Because it's almost like you see remnants of that peak. Like, if everything was in focus and stuff, like, that's who they used to be. But now they're losing it, you know, and the image is literally losing itself. Yeah. It's so, and the direction is so good. I think Alex Ross Perry, what he did with this movie is great. It's because at the end of Heaven, what happens at the end of Heaven?
What does happen?
The key. She hits the key, and we get a cut.
Oh, yes. Oh, beautiful cut to...
And I usually... Okay, here's the thing with well-timed cuts. When it's on the beat, if you've seen my old video essays, always on the beat. And you don't do that, though. I'm not sure why, but it works better when you don't cut on the beat. I guess because you anticipate on the beat. The audience wants that to happen, and when it doesn't happen, then you're like, what's happening? And it's almost too obvious. It almost called attention to itself. This is a cut that did call attention to itself, but it's the only one in the movie, and it's the one you need, because what do we cut to when she hits the last key?
Her friend Maury.
Yes, crying to a friend that she started to hate. She never lost love for, but she fucking suffered a lot dealing with her. And she's crying because she sees that she's getting better. Yeah. And it's exactly the face you want to see after that performance. That's the thing. It's either you linger on them, but if you're going to cut, you have to cut to the face that affirms your emotions in the seat. Because I'm crying in the theater watching... I wish I was in the theater watching this movie. Oh, man. But I'm not sitting in my seat watching this just, like, passively. I'm in it, and I'm crying, and I want to see someone crying. And to give me that proxy is just great direction. It's exactly what I want to see. It's people-pleasing movie-making in a very hard, not a people-pleaser movie. Yeah. Well, I guess it's a happy ending, but... You know, there's tough things to watch in it. It's like, it's a weird mixture of Green Book and not Green Book, Green Room. Green Room, which weirdly enough, Green Book is more scary to watch than Green Room. But Green Room, that and Bohemian Rhapsody, where like finds that weird middle ground where it's like brutal to watch, but it's about the music. It doesn't go into like this weird like gore stuff. But it feels like it could get there.
It really does, yeah.
You feel like someone's going to whip out a chainsaw and just like attack.
For real. I was like, the way this is going, the way it felt, just the way the camera was moving throughout. I know, you loved it, yeah.
Yeah, because the camera's just, in the first act, it's always close up, and it's always like moving, panning around. You see all these people, and I love that there are so many people reacting to what she's doing, because, like I said, I want I want affirmation of what I'm feeling while I'm watching a movie, and to have a bunch of people experience, like, be as in shock of her performance as you are, then it's just saying like, okay, yeah, it's a great way to support her as a performer and lift her up and make that performance really shine. You need people to be in shock for that, for us to gush as much as we are about her becoming Becky. But what I love about the camera movement, and what I love particularly about it being in close-up, is that you don't see the rest of her body. So you are cut off from, like, we pick up on body language in life. Like, I can anticipate what you're gonna do, even almost what you're gonna say, by how you're moving your hand, by what you're doing with your body. But because we're not seeing her body, we're just seeing her face, we're just hit with these instant reactions, and it's just great. And we're always catching up to her, which is why I love that second act, because you get that wide shot and it's still. For the first time, we're on a fucking tripod.
And it's so striking because of how much movement there is in the first act. Like, you're like, oh my god, wow, she was off the rails. Yeah.
You almost don't even realize how intense it was until you get that contrast.
Yeah, because it literally throws you into that.
Yeah.
Even like the flashback clips, they're as shaky.
Yeah. You get no relief until that part. And I didn't expect that part to happen.
Neither did I.
I really thought the whole movie was going to be the first act. And I would have loved it. I know you kind of need that extra layer.
Yeah.
And I love that we got that extra layer. Because the tea kettle goes, and she walks towards the tea kettle. And then I say this about, I've said it before, like Ryan Coogler, we noticed that shot where there's nobody in the frame, it's just a thing. And in this movie, we get a shot of just a kitchen, a part of a kitchen. We're not really sure what we're looking at, I guess. But it's the first time there's nobody in a shot, which we haven't got it in the first act. Because the first act, we're catching up to people. This is the first time where we see her catch up to a shot. Like, the camera's left her behind because she's slowed down. And I think that's just
brilliant.
I can't wait to see this guy's movies. Like, I'm so happy I'm alive to see this guy's movies. It's so good.
Yeah. And even that, like, when it goes into that middle part where it's so still, it's the only time where that score goes away, which, like, if you've ever been in a green room, that background noise is like the score basically, and everything going around you, that's what the woo is in your head, in your ears. And like, I feel like I love what they did what he did in the first act, because every time she's like coming in a room or they're talking about her, that comes on and it's like amplified, because like it's always there with everyone else, of course, because that's natural noises, but it's like it matches her energy, because it's just like roaring, and then it's gone in the middle because she's slowing down.
She's slowed down. Like, the juxtaposition isn't only visual, it's also oral, which is amazing. But another thing that I want to bring up about the score is the sound of the heartbeat. It's just pounding because she's on drugs the whole time. And the reason why I really love the ending of this movie, when she's hugging her daughter and she says it's okay, and finally everything sort of relaxes.
It's over.
You see, okay, she's sober, and I have a lot of friends who like struggle through all this drug stuff and trying to get rid of it. And the thing that you always notice about them, and they always tell me, is that it's always in the back of their head. That's why addicts often call themselves recovering, because it's always there and there's always a chance of a relapse. So you have to consider yourself vulnerable to it. That's sort of an AA thing. And I love that third act, it is both moments are still and moments are in close-up and flashy like they were in the first act. So you see her, not only is she struggling with it, but the camera is manifesting her internal struggle, orally as well, because there are times where that score and the heartbeat is there, and there are times where it's gone. And when she hugs her daughter, and it goes back up to her smell, it's like, oh, she's not playing music anymore, because she knows exactly, she did what she had to do, she made it through the night, and now she just wants to be with her daughter. And it's perfect.
She did it.
But again, to bring up that performance, you see it in her eyes as well, I think, at least, is that when she's on stage even, you're like, did she do it or did she not? And the reason is because I think even in her head is like, did I do it or did I not? You know?
Yeah. Well.
Okay, 10 out of 10 for me for this movie.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. You like it a little bit more?
Oh, I like it a lot more. Yeah.
All right, yeah, thanks for watching. By the way, sorry for the cricket sounds.
Oh, yeah.
My bad, I forgot to close the window. Hopefully you got through it, but
Get some ambiance.
I didn't want to cut it. We were having fun, but
yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Hopefully you enjoy this. See you next time.
Slipping out and caused you pain. I shake at the thought of